Good afternoon, welcome back to my channel, and this is going to be an update on the 52 game challenge. So 52 games in a year. This is the next 12 games. So last night I finished the game number 42, so I thought I'll do 12 games here and then the last one could be the final 10. So we'll jump straight into it. So game number 31 I finished this year is a replay of a game. And that is The Last of Us Part 2. Absolutely fantastic game. It was just recently I did a VR to Retro Rivals, and Scott mentioned how he thought this was better than the first game, and I do agree with him. I think this game is a better game than the first game. Obviously the first game was groundbreaking, and this game just took it to completely different heights. It was absolutely fantastic. The level of emotion that's shown in the game, the level of storytelling, the expertise in the storytelling as well, like the way it kind of like flip-flopped over a day or two, I think it was, between Ellie's journey and Abby's journey, and how they kind of crossed over and things like that. It was just fantastic. I mean, there's a lot of people that complain about the game in general. A lot of people don't like I remember when it first came out, people were moaning about the death of Joel, and obviously spoilers because everyone's surely played it by now, and anyone that hasn't played it now probably don't want to play it now. But anyway, a lot of people were moaning about that back when it first came out, and I thought it was absolutely perfectly done, expertly done. Again, like, I just thought it was fantastic, the way that there was no. Like, Joel was never going to get like a Hollywood ending. It wasn't going to be like a beautiful send-off. It was brutal, it was perfect, it was fantastic. I just loved everything about it. I thought it was fantastic. Obviously everyone loves Joel because Joel is the man. Joel is my favourite as well. Like, I love Joel, but he had his comeuppance. It was coming. Like, he did do bad things. He was a bad person back in the day, even before like Last of Us 1 took place. There was always that kind of air about him that he did bad things just to get by, which everyone would do, kind of thing, I guess, in that kind of situation. But anyway, fantastic game. There was another thing that I read somewhere, that people felt that the character of Lev was forced because they had to tick boxes because of all the woke bullshit. I don't agree with that either. I think Lev was a really good character. I think the fact that it was a girl that became a boy it wasn't just to tick a box. A lot of people will say it was, but it wasn't. It was, if you read into the story and you know about Lev, and she wanted to be a soldier, but the scars wouldn't let her be a soldier, so she shaved her hair and she tried to fit in with the boys so she could be a soldier. My little brother told me that that's kind of like Mulan, like the Disney movie, like that happened. I've never seen Mulan, but he told me that happens in Mulan. Like Mulan wanted to be a soldier and they wouldn't let her, so she cut her hair and she became a soldier. But anyway, Last of Us 2, sorry, big massive rant there. Fantastic game, absolutely brilliant. Game number 31. Game number 32 was a game that I got gifted from Eddie when I was down at Revival in Wolverhampton. I met up with Eddie and he passed this game on to me because he got 2 copies of it, I think, and it's Kingdom of Arcadia. Really cool wee game. It's not a long game. It's similar to those, what's that developer called, Rataclia? They're kind of short games. You pop the platinum trophy in this before the game's even finished. That's how kind of easy it is. It's not a overly hard game. There's some parts in it where I kept on dying, but that was just because I'm just shit. But it's a really cool wee game. Doesn't outstay its welcome. Gorgeous kind of 16-bit kind of pixelated graphics, kind of like Wonder Boy. Really cool game. Not too long. Like I said, doesn't outstay its welcome. Really colourful, cool areas, and it's pretty simple to get through as well. So it was a nice kind of break from a big game like Last of Us Part 2. So after that, I went back onto, which I don't have physically, but I'm glad that they're finally releasing a physical copy of it, and that's Alan Wake 2. Oh, what a game that is, man. I played it again. So I played the Final Draft, so that's like the New Game Plus. So I played it last year. Absolutely loved it. Game of the year last year, hands down, easily. And then I played it this year again, the Final Draft, but with all the DLC that's in there just now. So with the DLC, so when I got it for a birthday present. The missus bought it for me, and she bought the deluxe version of it digitally, and that gives you all the season pass, so you get all the DLC when it comes out. So anyway, in this one you get all the DLC, the Night Springs DLC. So playing through the game, playing through the campaign, you come across little TVs, and it's showing episodes of Night Springs, and you press X on it, and a little box will come up and it'll tell you this is DLC, do you want to go into this, or you can play it at some other time. But I played through the game, played DLC as and when it came around, and absolutely loved it. The first part of DLC was Rose, so Alan Wake's biggest fan. Absolutely brilliant. The DLC was just class. All 3 of the episodes of Night Springs was absolutely brilliant. So you played as Rose, the first one, and then you played as Jesse Faden from Control on the second one, and then you played as Sheriff Breaker for the third one, and it was absolutely brilliant. I just really, I've said this a million times before, I just really hope that they revisit Quantum Break, because I think it was a really cool game that was on a system that it wasn't suited for. It was only on Xbox One, which is a shame. I really wanted to get remastered or remade or whatever on PS5, just so we can delve deeper into that Remedy-verse. And also the new DLC will be out soon as well, so I'm expecting it to be out in time for the physical release, which is called The Lake House. So in the game there's a fence, there's a gate, and it's got a little intercom, a little ringer, a speaker. You press it, no one answers it, but I'm guessing once the DLC comes you're going to ring that and someone answers it, and then you're going to go to the Lake House. It's going to be fantastic. Anyway, enough of Alan Wake 2, absolutely brilliant game. Game number 34 is Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. Brilliant game, absolutely brilliant. This is just Jet Set Radio 3, or Jet Grind Radio 3, Jet Set Radio 3. Absolutely brilliant, man. Colourful, the music's amazing, the graphics cel-shaded as you'd expect, are absolutely gorgeous. I loved it, absolutely loved playing through it. It's very Jet Set Radio, except the camera controls are a lot better because it's a little bit more modern. So you got instead of like in the Dreamcast, you didn't have that right stick, so now you've got the right stick and you can move around the camera and things like that. It's just a stunning game, absolutely stunning. This only cost, I think it was £16, £17, and that was thanks to Martin, what was his name? Sorry mate. Martin Waite. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, I've blanked. But he's the guy that does all the Mega Drive challenges, and we're in a 12 RPG group together, and he mentioned this in that group that it was only going for 16 quids, and I jumped on it straight away because I was waiting for it. And it was one of them games that I kind of forgot about, and then it came up in the chat, and I was like, oh, I forgot about that, man, and I have to get it. So absolutely love this game, brilliant game, and the artwork is just stunning, absolutely stunning. Game number 35 was a Game Boy Advance game, and that is Castlevania Aria of Sorrow. So this is one of the games I got recently in a bundle of Game Boy Advance games, and I am 99% sure it's a repro, but that doesn't bother me because I got to play the game and I thought it was a really cool game. It is just your standard Castlevania kind of layout. You know, the castle, you're going to explore the castle, you're going to pick up powers, and you're going to go back through the castle and go up with a double jump, or you're going to go down into the water when you've got the water ability. It's just brilliant, and it's that addictive hook. In this one, your powers come from the enemies, so when you kill an enemy you absorb their power, and that's how you do your special moves and things like that. It starts off with you as a wee... Oh, I can't even remember the names, I'm so bad at this. Can't even remember his name. But you and your wee lassie pal, you go and watch, you're going to go and see a full eclipse. And then you get sucked into the eclipse because that's where Dracula's castle is, naturally. And then you go through and fight everything, and you find out you've got a dark power, and your dark power is that you absorb enemies' powers. Really, really cool. It's Castlevania. You know the formula. It's absolutely brilliant. Game number 36, and this game is right up there. Honestly, with one of the best games I've played this year. Absolutely loved it. I know Retro Ghetto got it recently. I know Ross Baha's played it. I know Big Game Al's played it. It's absolutely brilliant. Whenever I mention this, I always try to say to people like James Games on Birdroom and James Retro Import Gamer, like you guys love your racing games. You're gonna love this game. It's so bloody good. Honestly, it's one of the most kind of zen games I've ever played. Once you put it on, you're in it for hours, man. The music just captivates you, and then you're going through different rallies with different stages, and the next thing you know, it's got that kind of addictive hook that only Football Manager has. Like it's just one more game, just one more game, just one more game, and the next thing you know, you've lost like 3, 4, 5 hours to it. It's just so good. And the photo mode as well, for anyone's interested in photo modes. It would be you would be hard pushed to do a bad picture in this game because it's just gorgeous. Like it's got very simplistic, cel-shaded kind of a retro kind of look to it, and it's played on an isometric view, so it's played like way up in the sky, the camera. But when you pause it and you go into photo mode, you can zoom in and everything. The level of freedom you've got with the camera is so impressive. It's so cool, and the colours are just bright and they pop. You turn the saturation up and things like that. It's just a fantastic game. Like I said, the music is brilliant. So I finished off all the campaign, all the rallies. Loved it, absolutely loved it. So I've still got the kind of adventure mode to do in it, which is cool because I've got an excuse to go back to it like at some point. This is one game that I would like to have digitally because I'd like to have it always on the console rather than having to put the disc in because I'm a lazy arsehole. I would just love to have it digitally on the PS5 though. Like I wouldn't want it on the Switch. I think the Switch would it would just downgrade it a little bit. I think I've not played the Switch and I don't know anything about it. I just think on the PS5 it's just super smooth all the way. Load times are perfect. I just imagine on the Switch load times will be longer. I'd imagine the draw distance wouldn't be quite right, and it would kind of stutter a wee bit. Like PS5, it's just fantastic. I absolutely love this game. Brilliant game. And then after Art of Rally, I played Death's Door, and again, absolutely had a ball with this. I thought it was fantastic. Unfortunately, this one doesn't have a photo mode. I think it would be a stunning wee photo mode if it did have one. So I got this ages ago because it was really cheap on Amazon, and I'm sure a few of us picked it up. Like I'm sure Jordy Slasher and Eddie picked it up cheap on. I'm sure it was Amazon. Like was it a tenner or something? I can't remember. It was duck cheap, and it's the special editions. It's got the art book in there, and it's got a CD soundtrack as well. And the soundtrack is brilliant. It's just lovely kind of piano kind of music in there. But the graphics, like I said, is just a gorgeous game. And again, I think on the PS5 it's just butter smooth. It's just fantastic. When I did go to play this before, I was a little bit put off because I thought it was going to be like a Dark Souls or a roguelite kind of game, and it's not at all. When Mark corrected me on it, and that's what made me play it. He said it's not. It's just more of a kind of like an old kind of Zelda game, like isometric, running around, slashing things, doing puzzles, and it's just stunning wee game. Really like that. And then after Death's Door, we did Morbid 7 Acolytes, so that was part of the 52 Game Club Challenge group. Really enjoyed that as well. I think the kind of consensus of it, I won't go too much into it though because we're going to be doing a stream soon. But I think the consensus of it was a bit slow to start with. It was a bit of a slow burner. But once you get into it, and once you learned your skills and things like that, and once you made your own little loadout and stuff, it really got a lot better. And you could start to become as powerful as you could make yourself. It was really cool. I really liked the lore in the game. The only thing that I felt it was missing was maybe some kind of cutscenes, some kind of like anime cutscenes to link it all together, because it was really cool. There was cool bosses, there was cool areas, cool locales, but I just think it lacked a little something just to gel it all together and make it kind of seamless and make it feel a connected kind of thing. But it was really cool. Really enjoyed Morbid. So that was game 38. 39. Again, an absolute classic game, but also very Marmite. Some people love it, some people hate it. I think it's fantastic, and it's Death Stranding. Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Where to start with this? It's just a massive open world with nothing in it, because there's been an what is it like? What do they call them? Void outs. So there's all these void outs. There's ghosts and things like that. Like, it's just really cool. Everyone's gone into hiding. Everyone's kind of isolated themselves. I remember reading a while ago that Kojima predicted the future, because this came out just before COVID, and then like a year or two later, COVID really hit and everyone was isolating. And aye, that kind of hit home with this game. But I absolutely love it. The story is weird, really weird, but once you get it, you kind of get the gist of it. You get that you're trying to connect America again, but also within doing that, you're opening up the Chiral network, and within opening up the Chiral network lets a lot more beasties in, kind of thing. It's really cool. But then you've got the link between BB, so little Lou, your little baby, and what's his name? Mads Mikkelsen? Le Chiffre from Casino Royale. So his character, Cliff, and the baby are obviously connected, and then there's just all this mad Kojima kind of interwoven stories and things like that. It's just really cool. I love it. I think it's an absolutely stunning game. The music by Low Roller is fantastic. I always remember the first time I played this game, and like I was delivering a package, as you do, and I went over a hill, and just as I got up to the top of the hill, just about to cross over the hill, this music kicked in, and as it kicked in, the whole world kind of opened up, and it was just phenomenal, man. It was perfect, absolutely perfect. Homelander perfect. Yeah, I love this game, absolutely brilliant. And this is the second time I played it. So I played it on the PS4, now I played the Director's Cut on the PS5. There's a lot of things added into this as well that I don't think I noticed in the PS4 version. There is Cyberpunk 2077 items to pick up. I picked up one of the bikes, I think, from Cyber 2077, and I picked up Johnny's sunglasses from Cyberpunk 2077, and also there's Half-Life stuff as well. So there's a Half-Life mission thread, loads of missions, and you get little Half-Life items. You get the portal gun, I'm pretty sure. No, it's not a portal gun. It's the gravitational gun, and you get Gordon Freeman's glasses, and I'm sure you get a skin or a truck. Yeah, skin for a truck, or just a new truck with the Half-Life logo on the side of it, which I've seen on one of, I think it was Lisa West Picks from the VPR team. Pretty sure I've seen her pictures of like the Half-Life truck. Absolutely brilliant. Photo mode, astounding, absolutely class. Death Stranding, loved it. And then after Death Stranding, played Bramble the Mountain King. Whoa, this game is good, man. This game is so good. This was recommended by Jen at Retro Rivals a while back. I picked it up, I think it was last month I picked it up. Oh man, I absolutely loved this. I streamed it. It's funny though, because I streamed the first part, and I had people like Ross and Paul Sean, a few guys in the chat and they were watching it. Sean, well, in fact I won't say anything because spoiler, but yeah, absolutely loved it. And the guys said that it looked really cool. Paul had played it before and he said it was fantastic as well. It's stunning. It's absolutely stunning. Like, it is a horror, but it's not like oh, it's kind of hard to explain. Like, it is a horror. It's a folklore, a folktale horror kind of story set in the Swedish kind of folklore kind of thing, and it's absolutely brilliant. It's gorgeous. The only thing that I think the whole game's gorgeous. I think the character models are a little bit weird. The character models don't suit the rest of the kind of world kind of thing. I don't know, it's kind of weird, but that doesn't take away from the game. The game is so good, honestly. If you can get this, grab it. It's so, it's brilliant, man. It was funny because I was streaming it and I did mention that it wasn't like a scary game or anything like that, and then just as I said that, I shit myself, and Kev Wolford was watching it and he was laughing, saying, oh, it's not that scary, and then you shit yourself 2 seconds later. Aye. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. After Bramble, I really wanted to play something that was just random, so I just randomly picked out Rage 2. This game, when it first came out, I'm sure it got absolutely slated, but I've since went back and looked at reviews and it got like 8s and 7s, so that's a good score. And it's a fitting score. Like, I don't think it's anything better than a 7 or 8. I don't think it's a 10 out of 10 game. I think it's a very good game with amazing explosions. The explosions in this game are second to none. They're so good, man, and they're everywhere. Explosions everywhere. But yeah, I was talking to heaps of games about this, and he just mentioned that he preferred the first game, and I remember I really liked the first game, but I just don't remember much about it. I remember it was quite short. It was quite linear. This game is neither. It's a massive, huge game. The campaign isn't like overly long though. The campaign is quite digestible. But when it comes to like the world map and things like that, it's got that trope that every kind of game's got in the last 10 years or so, 20 years. It's a massive map with loads of like icons on it and fluff. That's what I'm trying to say. There's a lot of fluff in the game. But when you stick to the story and you stick to the missions and things like that, it's fantastic. And then you're travelling around and you see like a encampment and things like that. You jump in and you get some experience and things like that, and new weapons and stuff. But yeah, if you want to 100% it, it's going to take you a bloody long time, because the world is huge and the world itself is stunning as well. Again, it's gorgeous. Different locales. You've got like a swamp area. Desert area, like it's just really cool, really big, really varied, and I really enjoyed it. And then, so that was game 41. 42, this game I just got, so this is a pick-up spoiler. Me and the wee man went up to Glasgow to watch the Borderlands movie, and me and Jay loved the movie. It was a fine movie. I get that a lot of people are slating it, and I get why it's getting slated, but for a wee day out, me and Jay had a great time. But we popped in and we've seen the Legend Generation Pixel, and we're just talking about games as we do, and he mentioned this game here and said, "You played this shit?" I said, "No, I went to buy it a couple of weeks ago, but it wasn't in stock, so I had to get a different game." So he said, "Just wait a minute, because he had to go and do something," and he came back and said, "Here you go, you can have it." So he gave me Alone in the Dark, which was so kind. Can't thank him enough. Thanks again, Pixel. Really appreciate it. I played this. I finished this last night, so it took me. I think it took Pixel a week. Was it a week to finish? It took me just. In fact, it took me a week as well. It took me a week exactly to finish. The first playthrough I played through is Edward Carnby, and I really liked Edward Carnby's. Now that I've done both, I preferred Edward's kind of Edward's story a little bit more than I liked Emily's. Only because it was the first time I played it, I guess, and everything was all kind of new. Because when I went to play as Emily, I did that in like 2 days or 2 nights of playing it, because I knew where to go, I knew all the puzzles, and that was the thing as well. It's not like in Resident Evil 2, you've got 2 different scenarios where they kind of cross over and things like that. This is just one scenario, and you play it from either Emily's perspective or Edward's perspective. It does branch off a little bit, maybe 2/3 into the game, but the majority of it is it's the same. It's the same game, but just with different dialogue and different experiences for them, kind of thing. Really good, really old school in its kind of delivery. Obviously, it's got the over the shoulder kind of view that the game's kind of evolved into from Resident Evil 4 kind of onwards. But it's got that feel of the old 90s kind of games, all the Resident Evils and Silent Hills and things like that. It's got that kind of feel, especially when you're in the other locales where there's a lot of fog and flora and things like that. Just everything is very dense. It's really cool, and it's got that kind of claustrophobic feel, which is brilliant. But then when you're not in those other locations, you're in the Derceto mansion, and that just manor, the Derceto manor, sorry. And that's where the whole kind of story takes place, and everything kind of unfolds, and it's really cool the way it kind of goes like one way, but then like, it's just good. I really enjoyed it. So Pixel, thank you very much for that, much appreciated. And that brings us to 42 games this year. So I've got 3.5 months to finish 10 more games to reach that 52, which I'm hopeful I'll be able to do. Anyway, guys, thank you very much. Let us know if there's any games there you've played, or if there's any games you want to play, or if you like them or didn't like them. Let us know. Talk about it. Thanks very much, guys. Cheers. Bye bye.